It's a super gloomy day out, so it was really hard getting out of bed. Now that I'm up and about, I do want to show you guys what I've been doing to take care of my hair recently. And I went into this whole TikTok hole, which we're not surprised. Most of my new learnings are all from TikTok. I went down this hole of like the miel rosemary oil. If you're on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. And I already had castor oil, so I started trying this out, and I feel like it's helped like my baby hair here in the corner of my scalp grow out and fill in a little bit. Although, do your own research, do your own A/B testing, trial and error. Don't ever listen to anyone on the internet say this works for me, so it's going to work for you. All of our hair is different, and so what works for me might not work for you. Now that I've said that, let's go ahead and do my hair oiling routine, which I try to do once a week, if not every 2 weeks. Let me plop you guys up here. My hair is super oily already, but I start with like combing it out, get all the tangles out, and also get the blood flow going. Go over my scalp a couple of times to just, you know, wake up the head. I have 2 different oils here. I have the miel rosemary oil that I got from Amazon, and then I have castor oil. What I will do is section off my scalp and put rosemary oil in as I go, especially in the places that I have like scanty baby hair in. And I'll go into each section of my hair with rosemary oil, and it's nice that it comes with this dropper, so it's really easy to do this. You don't have to go crazy on the oil. I think a little goes a long way. I do 2 full droppers for all of my scalp. I'll rub it in a little bit. And for the rest of my hair, I'll use the castor oil. Same deal. My hair is fine, so for me, most days 1 dropper full of castor oil is more than enough. And castor oil is really sticky, so I don't like to overdo it because then it doesn't come off very easily. And then get the ends, don't forget the ends. And then you're pretty much done with the oiling part. The most important part, I think, though, is like massaging it in for about 5 minutes. Now, on TikTok, I saw a lot of people have a hair massaging tool. I think my fingers do the job just fine. I grew up with my mom's chumpies. If you're Indian, you know what that means. Just an age-old Indian oil massaging technique. So I'm just gonna give myself a chumpy, and that should be good enough. I've been getting so many compliments on my hair lately, and I think it's a combination of really just getting my hair routine down to a T, not bleaching my hair anymore. If you have followed me through the years, you know all of my crazy hair bleaching phases, but I made a decision last year to kind of give it a break, and ever since then I have pretty much stayed away from any kind of bleach. But there is one other secret that I don't think a lot of people know about or use, and it is my blow dryer brush. When I get to that part of my routine, I will show you how I get my bouncy curls. And no, it is not the Dyson hairdryer. Now that that's done, I will put my hair up and let it sit for an hour or so while I go about the rest of my morning. You see all this baby hair here? This is all new growth. I didn't have this. And then this part of my scalp has really filled in. And I think that is because of this routine. Just washed my hair. So I use the Redken All Soft shampoo and conditioner. on most wash days, but then every 2 weeks or so I like to use a clarifying shampoo. Your hair really has a lot of buildup, including like dandruff, impurities, etc, etc. The clarifying shampoo kind of like cleans all that buildup out, so your scalp is really clean, like a fresh slate. But you cannot overdo this because it will strip your scalp, so I do it every 2 or 2.5 weeks. I use the Kristen S Deep Clean Clarifying Shampoo. It's this one. Sometimes I'll replace my conditioner with a hair mask. Most times I will never wash my hair without conditioning it after, because I like the way it makes my hair really soft when it's conditioned. Also, when my hair is really wet straight out of the shower, I will go in with the Olaplex No. 6 Bond Smoother and the Olaplex No. 7 Bonding Oil. I like to mix these two up in my palm before I put it in my hair. So a little bit of that, like 4 or 5 drops of this. This acts as a leave-in conditioner, protects my hair from frizz, and also protects it from heat, which is the next step in my hair routine. But I just like rub this in throughout my hair, the ends, and then a little bit left over like that. Now that that's in, I'll go in with a wide tooth comb it out, and then wait for my hair to be semi-dry before I blow dry it. The hair is semi-dry now. As you can see, naturally my hair is between wavy and curly and really frizzy. But my secret tool, my secret weapon, I want to say, for the last year or so has been the Amika blow dryer brush. And I'm telling you, this is so underrated, because the amount of compliments I have received since I started using this on my hair. Every time I have a wash day, I have at least 3 people asking me if I got a blowout. This gets all the credits for doing whatever magic it does with my hair. It smooths away my flyaways, smooths my frizz. My hair is so bouncy and nice when I use this for like 2.5 days after wash day. I've never used a Dyson brush, but whenever I see people using it on TikTok and other social media, I honestly feel like the results don't even come close. I love this so much. This is my ride or die. I start by sectioning off my hair into just 2 sides, and when I start this, it does get loud, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk you through it as I do it. I'm gonna show you exactly the kind of motions I do with this, and it's super easy to use to get the bounce that I get. Put it on high. Warning, it's gonna get loud. I've just finished one side of my hair. I'm gonna go over it once again in the end, but you can already see how these like curls are starting to come through. I don't know if it's even coming across on the camera, but just the shine, like the immediate shine I see in my hair, amazing. So all I do while I have this noise off is get into my hair and then twist the brush out like that as I go through the length. And on the right side, I'll do the same thing. I'll go into it on the right side and twist it out like that while I'm doing this with the brush throughout the length of my hair. Okay, so this is after I've done all the sections of the hair. Do you see this bounce? Do you see this shine? I'm telling you, the Dyson Airwrap has nothing on the Amika brush. Don't come for me, I haven't used it, but I still believe that. Now you could stop here, but what I do like to do for that extra bounce on top, which I will separate these out and then do this with my brush, like blow dry them upwards and backwards. That's the motion you're looking for. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's the bounce I'm talking about. Gloomy day, so I had to get close to the window, but this is the finished product. It takes like 4 or 5 tries to get used to it, but once you've done it a couple of times and you get the hang of it, I think the volume and the shine this gives your hair is unmatched. It looks like a salon blowout. It feels like one. My hair is so soft. Let me know if you give this blow dry brush a try. I'll link it in my description box if you're interested. But that was my hair routine from start to finish. Let's get cozy. Whenever it gets gloomy or rainy outside like it is today, I get a little bit all up in my feelings. But I do have something I want to share with you guys, and this is something that's been weighing heavy on my mind. I found out in January of this year that my rent was being raised, and if you live in New York, you know so many people fell victim to the COVID rent increases. Basically, I found this apartment during COVID in 2021, early 2021, and so that's why, even though it's a luxury high-rise apartment in Manhattan, I got a really good deal, and I thought back then that this was too good to be true, and so somehow I negotiated a 2-year lease. My lease is coming to an end in March, and in January of this year I got a renewal from my buildings management company, and they raised my rent $1,200. Whether you can believe it or not, I know it's crazy. And when I reached out and kind of tried to negotiate, they were like, this is how apartments in the market are priced right now. And New York City did go through a crazy rent increase in 2022, and going into 2023 it's gotten a little bit better, but it's still pretty high compared to how things used to be here pre-COVID. So long story short, I'm gonna have to move. For the last 2 weeks or so, I've been looking at apartments in New York City, and I've looked at like 25 apartments, and I've only liked 2 so far. And I do want to caveat that by saying that after living in this apartment for 2 years, I do think that I have gotten a little bit used to the comforts of having a nice apartment. So that's why my standards for what I want in my next apartment are kind of high. I don't need like a crazy high-rise apartment like this one, but I do need natural light. I don't want to live in a box, which in New York City is pretty much every apartment is a box. The budget that I'm looking at right now, I'm mostly looking at studios and very few 1-bedrooms, so it's proving to be a little bit of a challenge. I do not want to live with roommates anymore. I'm kind of past that phase of my life. So that's just a little bit of what's been going on. I have been absent a little bit on YouTube for the last 2 weeks because the apartment hunting process in New York is all consuming, and I know a lot of you are here from my apartment hunting videos that I did back in 2021 and in 2022, so you know that the market here is kind of crazy. I do want to say I know a lot of you are waiting for more apartment hunting videos, and trust me, I got you with the process that I'm going through right now. I've seen so many apartments in so many different parts of New York, so I will be sharing that pretty soon, so stay tuned on that. I heard you, it's coming. It is February 18th today. I have to move on March 26th. I have a little more than a month left in this apartment, and it took me a while to accept the fact and get used to the fact that I will not be living here in a month. I am very attached to this apartment because I think I went through the toughest year of my life here, and throughout it all I always had this feeling of being grateful for having this home, for having such a nice place to call home. And this apartment has made me feel so safe and so protected in times where I felt so alone, and times where I felt like I was never going to be okay again. And I know it might seem kind of stupid, or I don't know, shallow to connect so deeply with a space, but I think for me it's more about the person that I grew to be in this apartment, if that makes sense. 26-year-old me that had just moved in here, and the me that is now, the me that is kind of going to be leaving, is just like 2 different people. And just that whole trajectory have happened while I was living here has just made this place like a really pivotal point in my story. This is the first place that truly felt like home. This is where I spent so much of my time last year, so much of my weekends just being at home doing nothing. And obviously it's a really beautiful apartment. It's a really nice building, but you know what, I have been thinking about it in a different way lately. And that is that no matter how attached you are to something, everything in life is temporary, and that is the truth with relationships, people, places, things. And this was a phase of my life that I really loved. And there will be more phases of my life that I love even more. I've gotten really comfortable, so it's time to make myself kind of get out of my comfort zone, because the best things come out of when you leave your comfort zone. So I'm ready for my next adventure. I'm ready for a new space and hopefully some new energy that comes in with the new space. In the meantime, I do have a month left here, so I'm just gonna make the most of it, marvel at the view for as long as I can. I haven't yet locked in an apartment for my next one, but I have liked two and I have put in applications on both, so we'll see what happens. You will definitely know more as I share my apartment hunting videos. I'm also going to be documenting my moving journey and all of that, obviously, because a lot of you seem interested in that. I have also been kind of absent from YouTube because for the last week or so I really didn't know what kind of content you guys wanted to see on here. I do share vlogs here and there, but I don't know if you guys like them, if you are even interested, because most of my days look the same. I have a full-time job. I have my morning routine and I have my night routine, and I'm a creature of habit. So sometimes I question if sharing that is even interesting for you or if it gets too repetitive. And so I've been questioning myself a little bit, which is why I've been hesitant to film anything or post anything. It would be a huge help if you guys can let me know in the comments below what you want to see more of from me. I'm open to any suggestions because I'm feeling a little bit of a creative block lately, and maybe you can help me kind of get over this little bump. My heart does feel a little bit light after sharing all of this with you guys and kind of saying it out loud, putting it out there. So yep, wish me luck. Just a few more beautiful golden hour sunsets in this beautiful little apartment. I'm gonna miss this.